Hey everybody, it's Jim of Animateducated. Today you're going to meet the 5 directors of a new student film called Boom. Boom won this year's Student Academy Awards, and I got to meet them and talk to them over Zoom. And so here it is. We're recording this right now on November 22nd, which is a very historic day. Now, I don't know if do you know what historic day it is?
No,
Because
I don't know.
this is a very important day because this is a day that if it didn't happen, there would be no well, eventually there'd be some computer animation, but maybe not as good. Do you know what?
Oh
You know
yeah,
what?
I don't know the date.
Okay,
I'm
it's
gonna guess that is it the date of release of Toy Story, maybe? Because it's
very
the first
good.
animation.
That was good. Yeah, it's Toy Story. Hooray! Yes,
Oh,
you won.
yeah.
Toy Story on this day premiered, and yeah, and the chain, and here we are. So, and we're here to talk about your film, Boom, which is a CG animated film, which won the Student Academy Award here in Hollywood a few months ago. And well, Charles, why don't you start? Like, just introduce yourself and who are you and all that.
Okay, so I'm Charles. I'm a Boom co-director, and I was also art director on the movie. I did also some 3D things because everyone had to do it, but that was my main role.
And then Laurie, what did you do in the film?
I was a lead animator on the movie, but like Charles, I did some things that wasn't animation because we were only 5, so we like did a little bit of everything. But my main thing was the animation.
Oh, okay. And then let's see. And then who is I have to look at Gabriel. So Gabriel, what was your
So yeah, I'm one of the co-director of Boom 2. I was in charge of all the layout and previs aspect of the movie, and also try to direct the storytelling of the movie with Charles.
Charles? Okay. Okay. And then we have
I'm Romain Augier. I was in charge of the technical direction of the film. So I did a lot of tools and development for the movie. And I also did all the effects. And I had the original ideas that then everyone added and worked on the film.
okay. All right. And then
Just for Yannick, who is not here, he
yeah.
was animator like Laurie, especially for crowd, and also a little bit of sound design.
Okay. All right. And then so yeah, it's a really fun film, a very international film. Where did the idea come from and how did you guys get together to make this thing?
The starting point was just a contrast between funny characters and very chaotic and dangerous environment, a bit like a mix between Deep Impact and the Shadows, for example. And then everyone worked a lot on the storytelling. We came up with the idea of the birds because having a family structure, it was easier to came up with gags and more funny acting with a family because it's a situation everyone, or pretty everyone, can identify to when you have a dramatic or an urge and you have to take care of the kids and of the father or the mother and etc. So all the elements are adding up together and in contrast to all the chaotic and destruction in the environment.
It's funny because usually when people make a film, there's maybe 1, maybe 2 people, but you guys had 5. How did you guys work together and not like sometimes kill each other, Did you just come from different? I mean,
Yeah,
how did that
we
happen?
did we did our scholarships together, so we knew them from years, and it was good as a team because we always talk with each other. We had more precise roles. Like at the beginning, we was all together on the story, but months later was like just two, and everyone was going to his own role. So it was more split after some months. So it was easier when it's come to direct something.
Yeah, we
Okay.
were in the same class,
Same class.
and what happens is that in the end of the fourth year, everyone has to find ideas for the graduation short films, and then the educational team selects 5 or 6 people with their ID. So I was part of this, and then we made up the team together, depending on the will of everyone in the class. So if someone wants to do a cartoon movie, we will put him on a cartoon movie. If someone wants to do hyper realistic CG, we will put him here and try to find the best compromise for everyone. But also with we try to respect friendships.
Mhm.
And so when we got together in September to start the year, we already knew each other because we spent 4 years together in the class.
Right. Right. And so you came together as a team to do this. About how long did it take you to kind of get through the different, like pre-production and then to animatic to kind of
We in animation we work a lot in parallel with parallel tasks. So for example, we really finish the story maybe 1 month before the end of the production. So yes. So all the production it's about 8 or 9 months, I think, and for the animatics we really did a lot of storyboard during the four first months, and after we begin the 3D in the overall half of the production, like 4 months 3D production. Yeah. But to be honest, yeah, we try to work like Simpson or South Park or Family Guy production. We work like with 4 storyboard artists, and we just try to make a lot of illustration and try to find some scene and some comical things with our characters and with the situation. So yeah, it was easier to have 4 director at the beginning because it was just a lot of brainstorming and search around the idea of Romain.
We did the story and the character and like the capacity, like if the bird could fly, like they could do something different. We try something with another number of eggs. We try a bunch of things, and with like the thing we feel was the funnier, the thing that speak to us, we did decide to do like a couple of birds, and there is in a colony and there is only 4 eggs and they can fly, but they have arm that are like big enough to carry the egg. So like everything that is in the movie is like made for the gag.
Like Laurie said, the process was really organic. That's what whole school are teaching us. And with that, it was a really powerful thing because we let us the chance to do better gags because we could change everything. So it was a really great method, I think.
Were there any inspirations for like past movies or films that you saw that you were like, oh yeah, we can let's I like what that. Let's put that in there or anything like that.
Yeah, we really try to find a lot of reference first with classic like Buster Keaton or Charlie Chaplin or Jacques Tati, but we also try to find some funny situation in Fresh Prince or Family Guy, because it's like we said it's a family, so we try to find some sitcom situation to bring that to our movie.
The main inspiration was like Ice Age with Scrat. It was the main like thing for the movie, like our bird or Scrat, and the egg is the nuts in a way. So yeah, it was really the big inspiration where that was Scrat from Ice Age.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't see that. You know, they're trying to figure out how to get the egg out of the tree, and you know, they can't fly up there to get it, and so they just have to just start throwing the other eggs, you know, and it just builds.
Yeah, and
Yeah, because
that's the reason why the animation is not that cartoon, because if your animation is too cartoon, you lost like the danger, you lost the feeling that they could be hurt. So we have found a mix between like something that is cartoon enough because it's funny, but also something that is realistic enough that we can still feel the danger and get attached to the egg and really feel something, when in the movie you don't know if something is going to happen or no. So you have to get invested in the character and really care for them. So that's why the animation, we made the choice in animation between cartoon and realism.
And then did you do the sound later, or did you do it kind of when?
Yeah, the sound was did at the same time as the animation was made, and even when with the animatic, because the sound is really important when you are directing a movie, because you can show, well, not show, but signify things with the sound. So it really helped us to have this tool and think about the sound during the storyboarding and the animatics, so that we could solve problems with too complex shots. For example, when the crowd is falling from the cliff and they are falling in the water, having hundreds of birds falling in water, having to simulate this was really complex. So we just had some off-screen sound, and it worked very well. So having that in mind helped us to find more ideas and solve problems. So the sound is made throughout the whole production. Because also Yannick was in charge of the sound, so he's not here to answer this. But finding good sound for the birds, for where they are shouting at each other, when one bird is shouting while running, when they are encouraging the other birds to jump from the cliff. All those sounds were very different, but they work together because Yannick made a lot of research about which sound would fit better from which animal. Sometimes it's mixed up. So we also had all this work to do to search for the sound library. So make, go out and capture sounds, write this. And so it's really great because we had to do everything on the film, and we see all the different stages of production. And it's really helpful to see each step so that we can find solutions to some problems more easily than if we had to give the task to someone else who's not really related to the production.
What are some of the things we didn't see that you fixed? Is there any stories like that you might have?
We really struggle
honestly,
with the end. We had the like 4 months we didn't find the end, and we found the end of the movie like Gabriel said, 1 month or two before the end of the
Oh yeah,
production.
the
The end.
the main challenge was the story and finding the right story and good storytelling and writing funny gags. But on the technical side, we did not have problems because I was taking care of it on my side. And as everyone else was looking and storyboarding and looking for gags, I was preparing all the technical aspect of the movie because we all knew it will be a very difficult movie to do with all the effects, the crowd, the different environments they are in the water on the islands. So having also feathers for the birds was a challenge, but as they were preparing the story, I could prepare the technical tools to solve problems made by the story. So when we get to the 3D production, we had everything prepared. It was smoother to work because we did not have that much problems technically.
Okay, well, that's great. Wow, yeah, that does help your pipeline go smoother when you kind of work on
Yeah,
idea and all that.
it was the right balance because also it also helped, I think, in the creative process for finding gags and writing the story because as anyone had idea, we were talking about it and they were asking me, do you think it's technically possible to, I don't know, have the whole island exploding? It will be funny because this and that. And so I will, on my side, try to find a solution and come up very quickly with this solution and say, yeah, we can do that. And I think we had no limits. Like we did not limit the story because of technical issues. So I regret it a bit because I did not sleep a lot during this year, but it was great because at the beginning I said, unlimited budget, we can do whatever we want, and it was great. And also Gabriel did a lot of work on the rig for the animators. He animated himself too. But this was also a challenge because being able to have a rig that has both cartoonish capabilities, but also very human in the way they are acting sometimes. So this was also a great challenge Gabriel took care of. And during all the production, what was really valuable for us is all the back and forth we had between the technical side and the creative side. So when Laurie and Yannick were making animation tests to find the good style of animation, they could give some feedback to Gabriel for the rig for him to improve it. And on my side with Charles, we did a lot of back and forth for the feathers tool, for example, or for all the effects and the environment too. So we had a lot of back and forth that helped us improve all the tools. And at the end of the production, everything was really strong and solid, and it was smoother to work with a tool that proved they were good at the beginning.
Charles, did you come up with the character designs or someone else do that?
Yes, at the beginning we was with Gabriel, Laurie, and Yannick, giving ideas for the characters because, as Laurie said, we had to do a lot of iteration. If there was changing with the story, if they had long wings or short wings, etc. But after that, I did the final character with the color research, and the main thing was to do a dumb character. So it was the research was a lot about that to give them this like a Sid in Age de Glace, in Ice Age.
Ah,
Sid, do you know the character with the eye like this?
oh,
And it
Sid.
was
Yeah,
yeah,
the sloth. He's like a sloth.
exactly.
Yeah.
I took a inspiration from him to
Oh,
give them this spark in the eye.
okay. Yeah,
So
yeah. That's pretty good. That's apparent. I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to kind of like, yeah, because all the CG, which is nice, it's like this has a unique look to it. It doesn't look, it's not, you don't go, oh yeah, they got all that from Ice Age, you know, or you know what I mean? It was like you kind of took different styles
yeah,
and
yeah,
kind of put it together and made it work, you know, and then based
yeah.
it on nature, you know, like
And if you look at the environment of La Réunion, like Gabriel said, I think it's literally the same, because we didn't have to design a lot the environment, because the La Réunion is really specific. So we just with the photo, I had a very good environment.
mhm. I want to thank you guys for coming on Animated Educated, but I also want to find out what's the next. Are you gonna make another film together or separate or?
We graduated with this short film.
Okay.
We passed a jury in 2022, and since then we all are working, and we might do another film together. We don't really know. We all have side projects on our own, and we are talking a bit about different stories and exchanging on that, but for now it's not planned. And on my end, now I'm a software engineer and I work in a small studio in Paris, and I develop softwares for artists to enhance the workflow and get new tools and stuff like this.
Okay. And how about you, Laurie? What do you?
Well, but I graduated like
Mhm.
all of us, and I'm immediately got to work for Tu nous as pas vu. It's like an animation studio in the south of France, and yeah, I was a 3D animator there, and the name of the series is Gus, and yeah, and right now I'm in vacation, on
Oh,
vacation.
okay. All right. Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
So that's good. So and then Charles, what about you? What are you doing these days?
Yeah, so me, just after being graduated, I work in the same studio as Laurie, but in lighting department. It's like lighting, like the photography. And I was on a TV show during 9 months, I think. And I did also a little bit of concept art in this studio.
Mhm.
It's like you have to it's a pre-production task. Like you have to design environment, things, scene that could happen in a movie. And now I used to continue in concept art and visual development, but in freelance. And I'm searching for a new contract because it's a freelance statue.
Right. Okay. And then Gabriel, what about you? What happens after Boom? What are you doing now?
Yeah, now I'm working in Madrid at in Skydance Animation on CG feature films as a layout artist. So I'm the guy in charge of camera.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so I'm working on the next feature films. Yeah, the name is Spellbound, and yeah.
Well, that's great. And it's too bad Yannick couldn't come in. We could ask him what he's doing now, but you know, he's out there. So, but yeah, anyway, I want to thank you all for coming on here, and good to see you again. And yeah, continued success. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
just thanks for
Thanks,
coming on Animated Educated and telling us
Yeah,
all
it was a
about
pleasure.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again. And I'll
Thank
see
you.
Thank you very
And
much.
see you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
See
Thank you.
you.
Have a good day.
All right. Good day or
Bye.
good night. Good night. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that interview with the directors of Boom, the student film that won the Student Academy Award this year. And yeah, I want to thank everybody who's been tuning in and watching more of the videos that you can find below. If you scroll down there, some really interesting interviews as well. And thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed and you'd like to, you can press that button right there. And here's some other videos that I've done that you might be interested in. And we'll see you next time on Animated Educated.